We are less than a week away from the 2024 NFL Draft, and The Athletic has released another mock, all 7 rounds from Dane Brugler, and it's an interesting one, so let's react to it here on Titans Today. We really do appreciate you joining us. I am your host, Jace Andrews, and if you want a mock from us, you want us to do another one before the draft, well, like the video. Listen, I know that we've done a couple before, but as we get closer here to the draft, do you want another one before we get going? So hit that like button if you want one. I'm telling you, I got a couple good ones up my sleeve, so hit the like button if you would like that. Let's start going here on the Athletics one, and no surprise here at round 1, pick 7. It's Joe Alt, and that is what pretty much every mock draft has had. The only thing that I would say is the potential of him not being here, but be quite honest, it's just more Joe Alt. I mean, that's just the way this is going to go. We continuously sit here and say that they may go Malik Neighbors. They may go Brock Bowers. Maybe they go Romo Dunze. In all reality, if Joe Alt is there at 7, I do not see a world where they do not take him. Overall, PFF rank last year was absolutely incredible of 90.7. Did allow 1 sack, but hey, not that bad for a team of Notre Dame's caliber that's playing some pretty talented teams. 2 hits, 2 hurries, 2 penalties, really solid. And as Mel Kiper said, this guy could be an all-pro on year 1. Now, Nicholas Petit-Frere is the left tackle currently. You could slide him right there. And then you have a left tackle and a left guard who were the best-ranked tackles, funny enough, because Skoronski moved to guard, in the past 2 drafts, according to Mel Kiper. So that'd be pretty nice. The Lloyd Cushenberry, the new center that you got on a record-breaking deal, this just kind of makes sense. And honestly, we've said it multiple times, he can slide right in and just be an all-pro right away. I do not see any problems with him having trouble getting acquitted to the NFL and basically just coming in here and immediately playing ball the way he should and the way he has been doing it since Notre Dame and hopefully in the NFL for the Tennessee Titans, but we'll have to wait and see. I like that pick. Nothing really to add for me. Let's go to round 2, though, because now, obviously, things start getting a little more different. Marshawn Nealon, an edge rusher, goes at pick number 38 to the Tennessee Titans, and it's somewhat of a new name here. We only mentioned him a couple times. Nothing in mock drafts, though, all just in kind of scouting reports. Now, Nealon, to me, is a pretty good pick just because your defensive line is struggling a lot in terms of the people you have on there. Losing Danico Autry, obviously, Jeffrey Simmons is the best defensive tackle in the NFL besides Chris Jones. So you have a lot of depth with that, but besides him, it's going to be kind of hard. Sebastian Joseph Day you signed, but you don't have a true edge rusher. Nealon, done pretty well over his couple years at Western Michigan. And, I mean, again, competition isn't great, but you saw the PFF rank. Pretty solid, and I think he is really a good pick here in round 2. I'm kind of surprised. He's obviously going to be right there for you, so a rough defensive line could really use an edge rusher. And like I said, I just don't see a true edge rusher on this line because Simmons is a defensive tackle. Keandre Coburn, listed as a nose tackle, he was on the practice squad last year. And then Sebastian Joseph Day, yes, was a defensive end. I don't know if I consider him a true edge rusher type guy, like a Micah Parsons or even a Aiden Hutchinson, like that caliber of player. I don't think he is that type of edge rusher. He is more of a kind of normal defensive end, say like a George Karlaftis from the Kansas City Chiefs. And again, this line is just not good. So I asked the question, do you like this pick? Is it one that you would enjoy seeing the Titans get at number 38? Type Y for yes, type in for no. How are we feeling about this one? Let me know down in the comments section. Now, this is where it gets interesting because those 2 picks, never really had a problem with. I think they're both pretty overall solid. I like Alt, obviously Nealon's solid pick. But from here on out, it gets a little interesting for me. It starts with round 4, pick 104. Cam Hart, the cornerback from Notre Dame. Come again now? Well, I am severely confused in a lot of different ways why you're doing that. I will tell you why in just a second, but if you're looking to get your Titans gear before the draft, now's your time. You can get a long sleeve t-shirt, 25% off right now at chatsports.com/TEN long sleeve. You're not going to regret it, obviously, with the football season getting closer and closer and draft now less than a week away. It's time to get going and get your football gear intact because soon enough, it's going to be August. We're going to be starting talking preseason, and then week 1 will come before we know it. So get your gear now so that when you get to that week 1, you're not frantically trying to find your Titan shirt. You got a brand new one for you. Plus, hey, it's a pretty nice one. I like this navy blue color. Long sleeve, 25% off again. We'll have the link, chatsports.com/TEN long sleeve in the description down below. It's a pretty cool one. Go check it out. All right, you signed 2 cornerbacks. That's why I'm so confused about why you're getting one in round 3 or 4 here. I just don't get the point of that. I mean, you look at the cornerback room from last year, or excuse me, this year now. Chidobe Awuzie, L'Jarius Sneed were both not on the team last year. You signed Chidobe, you trade for L'Jarius Sneed. Roger McCreary has had a positive outlook in a lot of ways. I'm not against getting a cornerback. I don't want to say that. I'm against getting Cam Hart at round 4. That makes no sense. Why would you do that? You just got cornerbacks in free agency and trading. That was like the main position I think you garnered in. So why would you get him? And again, this is nothing on Cam Hart. He was great. 21 tackles, no interceptions, but 4 pass breakups. But I just don't understand the pick here is my bigger thing. So that's why I'm a tad confused. But, I mean, hey, it's not my mock draft. It's the Athletics, so I can't tell him not to do it. So that's definitely an interesting pick to me. Round 5, you do get the wide receiver in Jacob Cowling from Arizona. If you were able to watch the Fiesta Bowl, he diced up a pretty good Oklahoma defense, and I really, really like what I saw from him in there. So I think finally a wide receiver here is just a nice thing to do. Obviously, again, we know that the wide receiver position is pretty nice because you have the DeAndre Hopkins at wide receiver 1. You have Calvin Ridley at wide receiver 2. But Treylon Burks, Nick Westbrook-Akine, Kyle Phillips, I just don't know if I'm trusting those guys to be a clear wide receiver 3. 1 and 2 are clear, and I honestly, in some ways, you may be able to switch them. Put Ridley at 1 and DeAndre Hopkins at 2. But I don't know if there's a true wide receiver 3. I feel like Burks, Westbrook-Akine, and Phillips could all be a wide receiver 4 in their own right, but not wide receiver 3. Jacob Cowling, on the other hand, I could see him stepping in and be wide receiver 3 day 1. Dude was an absolute menace in the Alamo Bowl and throughout the season with Arizona, nearing 900 yards, average of just under 10 yards per reception. Did have 6 drops for 13 touchdowns, so a little bit of more drops than I would like to see. But, I mean, you just look at this guy going from UTEP, where he had over 1,300 yards in 2021, to Arizona and not missing a beat. I mean, yes, the average went down, but he had the same amount of yardage, same amount of touchdowns, and arguably just like a different situation. Is hard to come in here and kind of hold grasp of. So Cowling did a lot of good things, and he was a journeyman in some ways. I mean, went through 2 colleges. That's something to be taking note of, as when you have a guy who transfers and doesn't miss a step like Cowling did, that kind of in some ways could help with the NFL. Because obviously there's a second level. UTEP to Arizona is certainly a jump. But Arizona to the NFL is something you can't be ready for. And obviously you can't ever predict that. But if you see a jump from one level to the next as a good one, odds are he'll have a little bit of an easier time transitioning to the NFL speed of play. And with Calvin Ridley and DeAndre Hopkins, I bet you he probably performs pretty well. So actually, I kind of like that pick. I don't know what I would have done with the round 4 pick, but I don't mind going round 5 wide receiver, especially getting Cowling out there. So I'll take that every single day. All right, round 6 here, pick 182, Jaheim Bell, a tight end from Florida State University. I don't mind this one. I don't have a positive reaction. I don't have a negative reaction either. I think this is more just like a, yeah, sure, why not? I mean, you're in round 6 at this point. To be quite frank, when you get past round 5, you're just saying, hope this guy works out. Hopefully don't cut him by the end of the season or the end of the offseason. So that's just the way it kind of goes. You know, you're going to have your UDFAs as well, going to be fighting with them. And so not bad stats, would be very good for a depth piece in my mind. I mean, you have already Chiggy, who is going to be your tight end number 1. I like what I saw from Josh Wiley. I think he could be a great tight end number 2. So they do have another tight end roster. He would be the 4th one. I would assume one of them would not make the 53-man, and the other one would be on the practice squad if they do go the tight end route in the NFL draft, which I think they probably will. Jaheim Bell, though, has not been one that I have actually seen before on any mock draft. So, again, interesting pick. Not positive, not negative about it. Just kind of like, neutral. You're in round 6. I'll take it. Round 7, Ladarius Henderson, the offensive guard from Michigan. Now, this I kind of have a different reaction to. 242, but I think he would actually fit in very, very well because you need this offensive line in a lot of different facets to grow. And I know the guard position is already pretty filled with starters in terms of Skoronski and Brunskill. However, I don't mind getting depth pieces. I don't mind having somebody in there. Sadiq Charles is really, really good on the guard for the backup, but besides that, I don't know if I trust anybody else in the backup guard position. Ladarius Coming from Michigan, played pretty well. Obviously, a team that brought a national championship into Michigan. He really is somebody that I would actually be super excited to see in round 7 go to the Tennessee Titans. And then Darius Muasa, the linebacker from UCLA at round 7, number 252. Darius is just, again, practice squad. I mean, these are practice squad guys in general in those last 3 in some facets, because if Jaheim Bell doesn't win out that tight end 3 spot, he's a practice squad guy. You're going to have that guard go and Ladarius Henderson be a potential practice squad depth piece to, if a lineman ever gets hurt, you pick him right back up. Obviously, we saw a bunch of injuries on the line last year. And then the same thing, you go to the linebacker room, it's pretty filled, but hey, why not add some depth there? Let's go through this mock just one more time, and I'll have you grade it here in just a minute. Joe Alt, round 1, pick number 7. Pretty good pick there. Obviously, no surprise. Marshawn Nealon. New name. Like it, though, at round 2, pick number 38. Cam Hart. I'm confused. Round 4, pick 104. Jacob Cowling. Love that pick. Round 5, pick number 146. And then guys that are kind of fringe roster guys for 53-man at least. Jaheim Bell, round 6, 182. Ladarius Henderson, round 7, number 242. And then Darius Muasa, round 7, number 252, the pick that you got from the L'Jarius Sneed trade. Grade this mock draft. A, B, C, D, or F. A being great. You love it. Nothing you would change. F being terrible. I would change every single freaking pick. B, meaning, hey, that's above average. C is average. D is below average. You can kind of do the math between there. But hey, it's something that is really, really fun to do here. And again, if you want us to do our own mock draft, hit that like button, because we got a lot of stuff in the works. And when we get closer to the draft, we're less than a week away, we got more and more content. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're joining us every single day. You're not going to want to miss anything we have in store for you. And the draft, oh boy, get ready. We're going to be pumping out videos like nothing else. We do appreciate hanging out with us here on Titans Today, and we will see you next time. But for now, tighten up and peace out.